let's have a look into the tea leaves and see what I've come up with. Welcome to you, my name's Dale and this is Dale's Addiction. Today I want to talk to you about what I think I'm just going to call it a collection for the purpose of this video, what I think that my handbag collection is going to look like in 10 years time. Now, this video is in response to Kat L's request for us to play a little bit of crystal balling. Previously, she's asked us to complete our luxury handbag collection, which I found highly offensive because I don't believe in purse piece. I will link that video in the description box and up here, and that's the puppy dog having a little shake. And now she's asking us to think about our collections in 10 years' time and what they might look like. And again, I found this quite challenging because I struggled to put together a wish list, let alone think about what my bags might look like in 10 years. However, thank you for the challenge, Kat. I guess 10 years' time works better for me because it's more ambiguous, it's more big picture, it's less specific, and for me, that is music to my ears. I don't like detail. I don't like getting down into the nitty gritty. I'm not a huge fan of that. So I eventually found this when I started thinking about it a little bit easier. A little bit of rosé may have helped me to get my thinking juices flowing as well. Let's have a look into the tea leaves and see what I've come up with. Okay, so how's my life going to change in 10 years? Beside the obvious fact that I'll be 10 years older, so will everyone around me, which will mean that each of my 3 stepchildren will be in their prime baby-making years, which will mean that I'll be a granny. Well, hello there, beautiful. Show me your handbags. More than likely. Will that change my handbags? I don't think so. So what do I see? I think in 10 years' time, one of the things that I'll be even more keen to do is to explore new designs. Because if you think about it, I've had a lot of time already in my bag buying experience to look at all of the designs that I love now. So over the next 10 years, I'll have a lot of opportunity to discover new designs. One of the things that came up for me, and I know that you guys will want to know, is do I think that I'll be interested in buying an Hermes bag in the next 10 years? Look, right now, I don't see anything changing in that regard. I see them just being 10 years older, and that's not something that really appeals to me. But I'll never say never, and if I'm still doing YouTube in 10 years' time, I'm sure you guys will remind me of this very moment if, in fact, an Hermes bag makes it home with me. One thing that will be a big feature of my collection over the next 10 years at least will be made-to-orders. If you don't already know, I have a made-to-order Fendi baguette trunk in the process of being made. It's my very first made to order, and it's expected to be ready by the end of this year, but we shall see. And the whole process was just magic, and I want to do more of it. So obviously I'd love to do more made to order with Fendi. They offer the peekaboo as a made to order. There are rumours that Fendi will introduce the Fendi First bag as a made-to-order option. So definitely more made-to-orders. I was lucky enough to go and see the Dior made-to-order trunk when it was here in Brisbane a couple of months ago. Although the process isn't as interactive because it's based on iPads, and you can choose between a saddle and a Lady Dior bag. And there are set combinations. So for whatever leather that you choose, there are certain colour combinations that you can use for that leather. Whatever size bag, there are certain fabrics that you can choose from. So It's not as open as what the Fendi process is, but certainly there are plenty of options, and I'm sure they'll continue to evolve over the next 10 years. Louis Vuitton, I have talked about the fact that I would love to do a petite malle in the made-to-order. Louis Vuitton, again, are quite restrictive with their made-to-order choices. Much more restrictive than Fendi. Everyone's more restrictive than Fendi. But I'd still like to embark upon a made-to-order with Louis Vuitton. Any other brands that offer a made-to-order, going forward? I'm going to care even less than I do now about classic handbags and resale, because you only live once. And if there's something that we all know about time, is that it goes too quickly. And I won't be worried about whether or not I'm wearing a classic style in 10 years' time, because by then I will have hoped I'm even more developed than what I am now in terms of my confidence and my style and what I love and whose opinions I care about and whose I don't. So I think I'll definitely be going with more seasonal bags, which takes me to my next point. I think my collection, I'll require less versatility from the pieces that I choose, because I'll have so much already that I won't require a bag to be carried multiple ways. Because if I can carry multiple bags multiple ways, then I've got too many to choose from for particular occasions. So I think having less versatility in my pieces will actually get them used more. I'll also be more inclined, I think, to shop for seasonal pieces, so spring summer bags, and be okay with the fact that I don't use them all year round, that they're just spring summer. And similarly for the fall winter, or autumn winter as we call it here, I'll be happy to have more pieces that only fit into that kind of window or weather pattern. Whereas now I look for things that I can wear year round most of the time. So I think there'll be two, fundamental shifts in terms of what I expect for versatility in my handbags. The other thing that I think I will embark upon is going ahead and buying more of those very special, impractical collector pieces, such as some of the Chanel, they've got a special name, I'll put it on the screen here, but a lot of those resin perspex pieces, I talk about them in pretty much every dream wish list video that I do. The closest that I got to purchasing one was Designer Archives, a local consignment store here, had a black perfume bottle. I think it might have been around $8,000 or $9,000. I very, 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 very carefully thought about that piece. But I think that buying a piece like that, to me, it's about the experience. So I would be looking to purchase something like that in the boutique. I think also, some of the more special embroidered pieces from Dior, the Chanel Métier d'Art collections, really enjoying the art and the craftsmanship behind bags. And when I say that, I'm not talking about, 10 pieces of leather sewn together. I'm talking about all of the really fiddly things, and those dyeing crafts that, the artisans are getting so old, and Fendi do that beautifully with lace makers and embroiderers, and I'll definitely be looking to more of those special pieces. In terms of getting rid of anything in my collection, maybe. I think, again, when I get closer to that age, I'll probably be less inclined to sell things and more inclined to reach out to the ladies and gents, if they're interested in my family, to see if they might be interested in a piece from my collection that I don't use anymore, or I don't have, grandiose feelings about anymore. So, yeah, I've already said, my funeral plans are such that it will be a turn up and celebrate my life because I'll already be well and truly cremated. May this be on the record. I'll be in my Louis Vuitton box. I'll be locked up and the key thrown away so no one can empty me out and take the trunk and put flowers in it. And if you're invited, chances are you'll get the opportunity to take away a bonbonniere in the form of a luxury handbag. So, do you want to be my friend? Desperate, I know. Anyway, they're my thoughts. I'm sitting here. I've come home from work in my PJs. I wrote down a few notes. I poured myself a glass of wine, and that's what came out. And I think that's pretty much how I go through life. See where it takes me. So YOLO, and I would like to tag a couple of people to do this tag for me, to do this tag for Kat at my request. And those people are Connor, Nick, and Meredith. Let me know what your collections will look like in 10 years, or at least what you think they will look like in 10 years. I won't hold you to it. It's just a loose kind of aspirational situation. If this video has prompted you to think about where your collection might be in the next 10 years and you don't do YouTube, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you what you think the changes to your collection will be. If you haven't already subscribed to Kat L, go and check out her channel. She does these great Q&As and she has a luxury live show with Fashionably Amy. Her details are linked in the description box below. If you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you haven't already. I put out videos on Wednesdays and Sundays and sometimes some extra ones, and mostly not in my pajamas. So I'd love to see you back here again next time. Bye. Bye. What was that? Bye. I'll just stop.